The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them.
You just heard the most dangerous truth in financial history. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. But why were we never taught this in school? Why did our parents tell us to get a good job and work for a paycheck? Because the system is designed to create employees, not owners. Today, we go beyond the quote. We're decoding the Kiyosaki way to break your financial chains. Welcome to the Kiyosaki Mindset. Most people believe they are building wealth, but in reality, they may be constructing a financial prison for themselves without realizing it. According to Robert Kiyosaki, an asset is something that puts money into your pocket, while a liability is something that takes money out of it. From this perspective, many items commonly seen as symbols of wealth can actually hinder financial freedom. For example, a car continuously generates expenses, fuel, maintenance, insurance, and depreciation without producing income. Similarly, a large house purchased with a 30-year mortgage is in many cases not an asset but a liability because it requires constant monthly payments and does not generate cash flow.
Truly wealthy individuals, on the other hand, focus first on acquiring income-producing assets. Investments such as stocks, rental properties, or businesses create a steady stream of cash flow that can eventually cover living expenses. For this reason, the rich typically prioritize building these assets before indulging in luxury. Their goal is not to depend on a salary, but to make money work for them. Instead of trading time for income, they build systems that generate revenue on their behalf, allowing them to achieve both financial independence and greater control over their time.
In today's economic landscape, inflation continues to climb, while the purchasing power of major currencies steadily declines, making everyday life more expensive and financial stability harder to maintain. Within the ESBI framework popularized by Robert Kiyosaki, those on the left side of the quadrant, employees, E, and the self-employed, S, earn income primarily by trading their time and personal effort. This creates a fragile situation. Income stops when work stops. In addition, these groups often face the highest effective tax burdens and limited flexibility over their schedules, leaving them with less freedom to respond to economic shocks. As costs rise and job security becomes less predictable, relying solely on earned income can feel like running faster just to stay in the same place. To navigate and survive the modern economy, the model suggests moving towards the right side of the quadrant, business owners, B, and investors, I. These roles focus on building systems and assets that generate income independently of one's daily labor, companies that operate without constant supervision, or investments that produce returns over time. This shift is not merely about accumulating wealth, it is about gaining control over one's financial future, time, and decision-making power. In an era marked by market volatility, technological disruption, and global uncertainty, true security no longer comes from a stable paycheck alone, but from financial intelligence, the ability to understand money, manage risk, and create multiple streams of income that can endure even amid economic chaos.
Traditional education often teaches people to avoid debt at all costs, framing it as something dangerous that leads to financial trouble. However, according to the philosophy popularized by Robert Kiyosaki, not all debt is the same. While bad debt finances consumption, things that lose value and generate expenses, good debt is used to acquire assets that produce income. From this perspective, debt itself is not the enemy. Misuse of debt is. The wealthy are taught to analyze whether borrowed money will drain their pockets or feed them, turning debt from a burden into a strategic tool.
A key idea behind this approach is OPM, other people's money. Instead of saving for decades to purchase an asset outright, investors may use bank financing to acquire income-producing properties or businesses much sooner. For example, when a loan is used to purchase a rental property, the tenant's monthly payments can cover the mortgage, operating costs, and sometimes even generate surplus cash flow. Over time, the asset may also appreciate in value, while the bet is gradually paid down. In many systems, tax regulations can further favor such investments through deductions related to interest, depreciation, and expenses, amplifying the long-term benefits.
In this framework, debt becomes a powerful lever rather than a trap. In the hands of someone without financial knowledge, borrowing can quickly spiral into unmanageable obligations and loss of stability. But in the hands of a disciplined investor mindset, it can accelerate wealth creation and expand opportunities that would otherwise remain out of reach. The crucial difference lies in financial intelligence, understanding risk, cash flow, and asset quality. Used recklessly, debt can destroy lives. Used strategically, it can help build enduring financial structures that resemble small empires rather than fragile incomes.
Financial freedom is not something that appears by chance or luck. It is the result of deliberate decisions made consistently over time. Every person faces a fundamental choice: remain in the cycle of earning, spending, and starting over each month, the so-called rat race, or begin designing a clear path towards independence. Building that path requires awareness, discipline, and a willingness to learn how money truly works. It may start with small steps: controlling expenses, increasing financial knowledge, and gradually acquiring assets that generate income. What matters most is not where you begin, but the decision to begin at all.
If you want to accelerate that journey, surrounding yourself with the right ideas and community can make a powerful difference. By subscribing to Kiyosaki Mindset, you choose to engage with content focused on financial education, strategic thinking, and long-term wealth building. The ultimate goal is to shift from trading time for money to creating systems where money works on your behalf through investments, businesses, or other income-producing assets. This transformation does not happen overnight, but with persistence, it can reshape your future. The journey toward financial control starts now, and each step you take brings you closer to a life defined not by obligation, but by choice. See you in the next video.